Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, we've got two teams here certainly with something to prove after a disappointing 2017.
Let's be honest about it. Their playoff aspirations, they went splat, didn't they? They've got to prove now to themselves and to their fans, are they one of those teams that's ready to move back up, or are they one of those teams that really has to rebuild?
Now about set to get this one started. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Play action. It's Hodges. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Hodges now. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Let him know.
Third and long. It's Hodges. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. The All-Pro Andre Roberts deep for Buffalo. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now a man closing in on 15,000 career rush yards, Frank Gore. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Gore. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
When you play as well and as hard as Frank Gore, you get a chance to tour the NFL. How about his first 10 years in San Francisco, 3 in Indianapolis, a year in Miami, now starting his first year in Buffalo and his 15th NFL season, the game's active leading rusher and 4th all time.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing is Allen on 3rd, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the 1st on the scramble. That's a prime example of how Josh Allen can hurt a defense. You remember back to his rookie season a year ago, 631 rushing yards, 2nd only to Lamar Jackson. Also had 8 rushing touchdowns. He is a dual-threat QB. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Javon Hargrave able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
180! 98 Let's go, D!
On first down, Singletary. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. We're scoreless after 1. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
And allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting a 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. These Pittsburgh Steelers, Charles, you got a second here while they come out for this next drive. I continue to be impressed with them. Now 3 straight wins, 8-5. They're holding on to that number 6 seed in the AFC. Remember, they started 1-4 this season. They've won 7 of 8 since then.
Mike Tomlin, their head coach, is not going to win Coach of the Year. All right? Because he's been around too long, the whole deal. But would you say that potentially, strongly I would say, this is his best coaching job in Pittsburgh?
Well, think about it. He's done it without Ben Roethlisberger. Devlin Hodges, at the start of the year, 4th-string quarterback.
I'll say they drafted Mason Rudolph to be the backup. He ends up getting benched for Devlin Hodges, and between that and the start of training camp, they trade away Joshua Dobbs, who is a potential number 2 quarterback. So 4 different quarterbacks essentially for Pittsburgh this year. So many different injuries. Mixing guys in and out. Great trade for Minka Fitzpatrick. And now 7 of 8 wins since starting 1-4 and they're the number 6 seed in the AFC right now if the playoffs started today. To me, that's a marvelous coaching job and a marvelous thing that you've seen from these players responding and hanging in there.
And here's the finish. It's going to be fun. They host Buffalo, who currently occupies the other AFC wildcard spot, at the Jets, and then at Baltimore in the final week of the regular season. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Hodges. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here now Roberts. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Buffalo taking the field again here. You know, week 14, they lost to Baltimore. It was a close game, 24-17. But despite the loss, they might have found the blueprint for slowing down the Ravens' rushing offense, specifically Lamar Jackson, who they held to 40 yards, but Baltimore collectively a season-low 118 CD.
So what you're saying is that the rest of the league is going to be studying that tape if you have Baltimore on the schedule or you think you may deal with them in the playoffs to try and see what Buffalo did. But how about this for Buffalo? They're in the first AFC wildcard spot. New England's loss in Week 15 put them in a pretty good position because in 2 weeks they play the Patriots in New England. Can New England possibly lose to Cincinnati? Buffalo win this week and set up the big showdown for that one? It's a lot to ask, but one can dream, can't he?
Hey, either way, even if that's not the case, as you said, Bill's in a great spot right now at 9-4. Allen now on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. All right, CD, let's take a step back. Look at the AFC playoff picture with just 3 weeks to go. Hard to believe. Essentially, I think it's 7 teams for 6 spots right now. The Ravens are in, looking good for the number 1 seed, 11-2, essentially with a 2-game lead over the 10-3 Pats, who they beat in Week 9. Then what we got? Chiefs in the West leading right now. Texans currently ahead in the AFC South. How about that wild card picture?
Yeah, how about Buffalo? They had a tough loss at home to Baltimore, but boy, they're playing awfully well. And guess what? They go to New England next week. That game could have big ramifications. And the Steelers, how are they 8-5 on their third, maybe essentially fourth quarterback of the year since they traded Josh Dobbs in preseason? Incredible job Mike Tomlin has done as the head coach there. But the team to keep an eye out for in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. They are hot right now, 8-5, and running the heck out of the football with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mentioned the Texans currently holding the AFC South lead, but they also have that 8-5 record. It's going to be close down the stretch. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And now they'll throw with Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To the air, Allen, and he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Singletary. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Singletary here running out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
after the made field goal. Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Allen. And he finds Tyler Croft. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Croft. Remember, he had a season-ending foot injury last year with the Bengals in Week 5. So the Bills get him, and he re-injures that same foot in May in OTAs. But out there now and says he's feeling pretty good. He'll get 3 up to midfield. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, this is Singletary. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Singletary again, and boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
The Bills send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
A
little jet sweep to start the drive. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. On first down, it's Samuels. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Staying on the ground with Samuels. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Hodges. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, folks, we gave you a glance at the AFC playoff picture. Let's talk NFC playoff picture. Bit of a shakeup because the Niners and the Saints game and then the Seahawks and the Rams. So San Fran back up to the top spot. Then you have the Packers who beat Washington moving up to number 2. The Saints with the loss, try to follow all this. They drop down the spot, but it's a critical one as they lose that first-round bye, and then we're still awaiting resolution on the Cowboys and the Eagles in the NFC East, CD.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy deal because essentially San Francisco and Seattle had kind of been trading back and forth, and after Sunday night's games, San Francisco holds that spot. But remember, those two play Week 17. It could all be decided then. The Saints have already locked down the NFC South. They're trying to get one of those top 2 seeds, as you mentioned. But the race for these wild cards, Minnesota sitting right there holding the number 6 spot. They're a game ahead of the Rams, who are really hot right now. And the Bears, after whacking the Cowboys last week, they're hanging in there as well.
But as you're alluding to, I mean, Seattle drops from the number 1 seed all the way down to the number 5 seed in one day. Of course, a lot can change in the final 3 weeks.
And just think, a lot of people wondering, how does the NFC East get a home game by winning that division? This is going to be one of those years people will talk about reseeding based on absolute overall record.
Yeah, because it's not out of the question that either the 49ers or the Seahawks could be 13-3 and be a wild card team. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Bills. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Singletary. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards that time and a Bills 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Gore. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now Allen. And the grab by Croft. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Singletary. They'll run for it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Gore. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. So Allen's going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, they'll run with Gore. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Hauschka's kick is good, and that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now the Steelers down on the scoreboard. 1:36 to go. They've yet to dip the scoreboard tonight. Now they've got to do it twice late if they want a chance here.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
Throwing now, Hodges on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Again, Hodges. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And now the Bills will bring the offense out onto the field and go for 2 here. They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now it's the Steelers' turn. Trailing in this one now. A little over 30 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down.
15 line. 15 line.
Throwing after the interception. Hodges. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Hodges looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now it's Hodges. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Hodges. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.
Post-game report, player stats.